Peace, I'm Chatty Uncle Ivan. Considering that we post so many videos every day and it might be a bit overwhelming for everyone to keep up with, and since there isn't enough major Christian news every day, I'm thinking about switching our daily news updates to once or twice a week. Meanwhile, on regular days we'll roll out other rich content like special topic discussions, Bible translation reviews, faith Q&A, and even how AI is being used in the church. Please stay tuned. Today is April 28th, and I'm bringing you last week's key Christian faith news. On April 25th, the Scottish Government accepted the UK Supreme Court's ruling that under the Equality Act 2010 the definition of woman is based on biological sex rather than gender identity. This ruling was prompted by a challenge from For Women Scotland against the Scottish Government's gender quota policy. The Supreme Court unanimously decided that rights based on gender should be determined by biology. This decision impacts policies on single-sex spaces, sports, and shelters, ensuring fairness and safety for women's rights. For Christians, the ruling is consistent with the biblical view in Genesis 1 verse 27, emphasizing that God created males and females in complement. Its significance and impact lie in clarifying the legal interpretation across the UK, potentially prompting further discussion on transgender rights and gender-based protections. We pray that lawmakers will be given wisdom in handling gender issues, balancing everyone's rights while upholding the truth. On April 25th, data released by the Northern Ireland Health and Social Care Trust showed that complaints regarding conversion therapy were virtually zero. James Kennedy of the Christian Institute pointed out that a new law might harm ordinary people who hold traditional views. Although the proposed legislation is intended to prohibit practices aimed at changing sexual orientation or gender identity, critics argue that its overly broad definition could infringe on both religious freedom and freedom of speech. The data indicate that existing laws already provide sufficient protection, meaning a new law is unnecessary. This news highlights the tension between religious freedom and the law, which may particularly affect the Christian community in Northern Ireland, especially in terms of pastoral care. We pray that legislators will consider these issues carefully, protecting vulnerable individuals without restricting basic rights, and that Christians will stand firm in their faith. On April 25th, Professor Alan Josephson was dismissed from the University of Louisville for opposing transgender therapy for children, later receiving $1.6 million in damages on the grounds that his freedom of speech was violated. Having led the Child and Adolescent Psychiatry Department, he warned that puberty blockers and similar treatments could cause irreversible harm. The appeals court ruled that the university's action was unconstitutional. This case has become a landmark victory against pediatric gender transition therapies and underscores the importance of academic freedom and ethical discussion. This win has encouraged medical professionals to openly question ideological pressure and could influence future policies on gender medicine. We pray for protection for Professor Josephson and all who stand for the truth so that the medical community may gain wisdom in addressing gender issues and that families can make decisions based on ethical principles. Joshua 1 verse 9, Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. When we face injustice as we stand for truth and defend academic freedom, this verse gives us enormous courage and comfort. May everyone who speaks up for the truth find strength in the Lord's presence, remain steadfast in faith, and hold fast to integrity and wisdom amid challenges. If you want to know more about today's info or any other content, feel free to leave a comment below. Just a heads up that our daily news will now be once or twice a week, and on the other days we'll have more varied content such as special topics, Bible translation introductions, faith Q&A, and AI in the church. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please share them in the comments. Thank you all for your support. I hope you'll subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this channel so it can keep going and reach more people. You can also visit my Patreon to learn more and support the mission. Let's know God together, reflect on our faith, and live out Christ. See you tomorrow.